Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday to you. I hope that all is well with you all this morning. I know it's the first day of school, so all the parents are probably busy this morning, getting their kids off. So I was in that batch as well. But thank God I was off to a really good start this morning. So I hope that, things went smoothly for you all. But I was just about to leave home to go run some errands, and the Lord just placed something in my heart. And I said, okay, when I come back home, I'll record it and post it. Because when the Lord gives me something and asks me to share something, I know it's for someone, it's for somebody to hear. It's to encourage somebody who is going through a similar situation. And I said when I come back home, I'll do it. But, I was driving out and I just felt this push and this, tug on my heart to stop and just record it and post it, because I don't know who it's for. But whoever this message is for, I pray that, it will touch you and that you will be encouraged today. So it comes from a experience. I was just going to give you a little tidbit of something, a part of my life, an experience that I had. And I know that God wants me to share this for whoever it is. I'm not sure. Anyway, so let me see, maybe about almost maybe 7-8 years ago, I was working in the airline, and I left the airline. And when I left the airline, I decided that, hey, I want to go back to school. I want to go to university. I want to get my degree, because I just wanted to, elevate myself, in the education, just elevate myself in my academics, so that, I could be able to get something, a little better in the job market. I wanted to go into corporate. I wanted to go into the management field, because previous to the airline, I had worked in a lot of administrative positions. So that was the area I had a lot of experience in. And when I left the airline, which was my dream job, and I said, you know what, I just want to go back to school. I just want to just educate myself a little more and be in a better standing in terms of qualifications and so. Anyway, long story short, I finished my degree, and when I finished my degree, I started to apply for jobs and so. Now, I didn't get anything in the field that I wanted. I got nothing in the field that I wanted. And I started to apply, just random jobs that I saw maybe I could fit into, just to be able to be employed. And I did several jobs, let me tell you. And I know this, looking back now, I know this was intentional on God's part, but it was not the best experience. Let me tell you, I got jobs, and the jobs that I got were awful. I got some jobs, and the experiences I had in the jobs were like awful, and I never saw success in the things that I was doing. And not to say all the jobs I got were awful. There were actually maybe one or two that, it was, the environment was great, the company was great. However, I personally was not seeing success in what I was doing. And I was like so upset. I was saying, God, because the jobs I was doing was commission based, right? So I would be putting out so much energy into the jobs, and I would not be getting back anything. And I've been watching my coworkers who would be putting out and getting back. And I was like so mad. And there was a day I had a meltdown, and I was like, God, where is my portion? I don't understand. You sent me back to school. I educated myself. I don't understand what's happening. Anyhow, and I felt so frustrated, because I was like, why is it not happening for me? Why am I not seeing my financial blessings? I'm working and not seeing it coming to pass, So, in 2019, 2019, heading into 2020, is when the Lord spoke to my heart concerning, stepping out of the job market and going into ministry. And it was such a tough decision to make, because my heart was always career oriented. I always loved working. I always loved earning my own money and all this, and it was a hard decision to make. However, I did it. But now looking back, I know this is getting to the meat of the message now. I know that God allowed me to have those terrible situations, because hear me now, if I had had success in those jobs, I'm telling you, I would not have left the job market. Because I would have felt, fulfilled. I would have felt at that point, I would have felt successful. I would have felt that, hey, I accomplished, what I was going after. And the Lord deliberately did not allow me to have success in those fields, because I would have gotten comfortable and I would have never stepped out and stepped into what He really called me to do, which is full-time ministry. And I'm saying this because I'm sure that there are some people and there's situations going on in your life and you're not seeing success and you're wondering why. And maybe you're in a situation and it's really tough. You feel you're at the bottom of a pit somewhere and you're just not seeing your way. And maybe God has you in this situation because He wants you to depend completely on Him. You see, because I did not have any other choice but to cry out to God and say, God, where are you? And because I cried out to God and said, God, where are you? And cried out to Him, He started to lead me and direct me in the path that He wanted for me. You see, all the time I was trying to do what I wanted for me. And that is a common problem that a lot of us have, that we want what we want. But the thing that God has for you is so much better than the thing that you want for yourself. So I'm saying this to be encouraged today, that you may see yourself in a situation, you may have wanted something. You may have wanted something and it's not working out because that's not what God wants for you. So I'm encouraging you today to pray and to ask God, Father, where do you want me? Where do you want me? And He will keep on guiding you and leading you. And maybe He will allow you to stay in that, that terrible situation for a season, just so that you will be able to turn to Him. Because sometimes if we are successful and things are going good in our life, as I said, if I was successful at that point in a job, I would have never stepped out into ministry. And I could see that the way God uses me now, it's to touch other people's lives and to help other people, to hold their hand, to pull them through, just as how He did for me. And I'm not saying that you have to do the same as me, but I'm just saying that maybe the situation that you are in, it may seem terrible and awful, but it's not always the enemy. Every time we go through something, we think it's the enemy bashing us. We think it's the enemy, but it's not always the enemy. Sometimes God Himself has us in bad situations so that we could come out of our comfort zones. We could get back to understanding that He wants us to cry out to Him. He wants us to come back to Him. He wants us to seek His face for what He wants for us, because like that awesome Father He is, what He has for His children is better. The Bible says He's able to do exceedingly above and beyond all that we could ask, think, or imagine. The Bible also says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things that God has in store for those who love Him. Listen, God has something great in store for you, but you have to seek His face for it. And we have to, sometimes we have to put down our own agenda and pick up God's agenda, as tough as it may seem. So wherever you are today, I encourage you to just take a minute, put down everything and ask God, Father, where do you want me? Where do you want me? Guide me, lead me, show me, where do you want me? And trust and know that when you do that, He is going to lead you to the path that He knows. And He has predestined for you the great things that He has in store for you. He says, I know the plans I have for you, to give you a future and a hope, to prosper you. So be encouraged today in God, whatever situation you are in, whatever point you're in, whether you feel right now that things are just crumbling around you. I want you to take a minute today and stop and ask God, where do you want me, Father? Where do you want me? What will you have for me? I want what you want for me. That was always one of my prayers. It still is. I said, Father, I want nothing else but what you want for me. And I saw over the years how, God just kept leading me and directing me, leading my steps until, this point. And I know He's going to keep on doing it. So be encouraging God today. I don't know who this message is for, but it's time to put down our own agendas and take up God's plan for our life. It's better than anything you could have ever wanted. All right, so I encourage you to seek God's face today. Have a great week ahead, guys. I know, as I said, it's school week, so all the best to the students out there and to the parents. God bless you, strengthen you, keep you, cover you. Take care and stay blessed. Love you all.